For us, so we are live now. Let's just wait for a few seconds and let's let people join and then we can start with the presentation.
Sure.
All right, now I think we can start.
Let's give it a few more, 1 minute at least. I think we've got only one visitor so far.
Okay.
Give it a minute or two. We'll start at 9:02 if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, for us, I think now we should start.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to all. Welcome to the Performance Max Stellar program. Uh, Today, we've got two facilitators with us. One is myself, Farazdak Nasrullah, and another one is Shashank. I come with about 18 years of experience in the field of digital marketing, where I look at various products of Google. I've worked on website creation. I look at on page and off page optimization. That's something about me, and I shall hand it over to Shashank now. Over to you, Shashank.
Thank you so much for us. So, hello everyone, I'm Shashank Srivastava. I've got close to 10 years of experience in the ad tech industry. I've served for several brands, have good experience in creating different campaign types, doing performance marketing over years now. And I'll be taking you through this PMaxStellar performance deck. So let's talk about what we'll be covering today. So on our today's agenda, we'll give you firstly a quick introduction of what a Performance Max campaign is, why there is so much fuzz around this campaign type, why everyone is needing this campaign, why how exactly it's optimizing your campaign performance on a day-to-day basis, what are the multiple marketing objectives that you can cover in this campaign type. Then we'll also cover some optimization tips and tricks, some insights to the PMax campaign structure, and last but not the least, we'll talk about feed optimization and some best practices for PMax retail. So having said that, let's start. So Performance Max overview. Talking about this, firstly, I would like to tell you that based on some of our previous surveys, we have observed that consumer journeys are now moving targets, means people are now surfing through different channels on a day-to-day basis. In one of our research studies, we have identified that more than 61% users uh, hovered over 5+ channels in just 2 days duration, means a person was available on say display channel, then they also checked their maps for something, they also went to Google search to search for different stuff there, they were also live on YouTube. So they have switched between different inventories over a period of 2 days, which means that how impactful it could be if we can start targeting them on these different inventories. So that's one of the reasons why PMax was introduced. The second research that we have done over the past few years also told us that 25% of the consumers have accepted that they have done some impulse shopping. Means these users were really not needing these products, however, they still ended up purchasing them. And that was entirely out of impulse. So this means that if you're able to show your products to these consumers on different channels, that can improve the chances of your online sales, your online business growth. And that's where PMax pitches in. So now we'll start with the campaign introduction. So PMax is an AI powered campaign type which uses Google AI interface to identify the right users, the right customers for your product. And this is being done simultaneously on different channels. The PMax inventory itself covers shopping, Gmail, search, YouTube, Discover, Display, Google Maps, which means that wherever your user is present, your consumer is present. With this campaign type, you can target those consumers by showing them your product ads and increase the chances of online conversions. So this tells us why the PMax campaign type is so important. PMax Performance Max is the one of the best Google campaign type which uses AI and automation together. So it maximizes the consumer's business goals. It's a fully automated campaign type. It's obviously cross inventory and it's visual forward. So fully automated means you just need to give in few inputs. For example, what type of audience you're looking for, what could be the search queries that your users might be searching for whenever they are on Google search or on different channels. It's cross inventory means with this campaign type you can target different ad inventories, and it's visual forward means you can show image ads, video ads, text ads, HTML5 ads to your end users using the same campaign type. So it's like a power combination of different things in within just one campaign. This makes it so important. Now we will talk about how Performance Max is uplifting consumers' online business growth over the years. So with the Performance Max launch, there was like when businesses started using Performance Max, they've seen like a 13% uplift in 2022 with consistent improvements in the campaign structure. We observed an 18% business growth, and in 2024 we recorded 27%. So that's an immense business growth that was recorded in the year 2024 using this one campaign type. So this means that this campaign type is like it's pretty advanced and it's also giving some great results to our end users. Now we'll talk about how Google's AI is being used in this campaign type to drive results, like to improve your overall business conversions or your overall business conversion value. So, firstly, this campaign type helps you find new customers whenever you're online. So, for example, you're using, say, Google search. You have a list of broad match keywords that you're using in your campaign type. Now, whoever is searching for those keywords would be shown your Google search ad. However, if say there are people who are searching for similar product but with a different brand name, and you have not used that in your search keywords, then your ad might not get triggered to those users, which means that you will miss out on those consumers. However, in a PMax, when you give certain search queries as search queries to the campaign type to understand what kind of users you're expecting, you can give them some certain audience signals of which could be customer affinity in market or say website visitors. So using that signals, the AI will help the backend algorithms to understand what could be the right users. If, say, there is a different person who's searching for a similar product online, but for a different brand, there's still a high chance that maybe on a different inventory or PMAX campaign type might start targeting those users. Now, with this campaign type, you can also multiply your conversions and conversion value by making different optimization changes. So this campaign type helps you use a combination of search ad copies with video and display assets. So it uses a power combination of these assets to see whichever is converting the most and giving you the best results, and starts showing these kind of ad combinations to your end users, which helps you improve your overall conversion results. And also with the help of learning that you achieve through this campaign type over time, you can start making different optimization changes. You can understand your end users better, which means that once you have those insights, and if you're structuring some new campaigns, you can start with the right structure from the very first step itself. So these are few of the reasons why this campaign type is so important for the end users. Now we'll talk about the targeting, the optimization, uh, and different goals that you have within a Performance Max. So whenever we are creating a campaign, it's very important to understand what exactly we are looking for. Is that online sales that we are needing, or is that overall lead generation, or we want some higher footfall in our offline stores? So based on that, you have to choose some right goals. And as you can see on the screen, are a list of goals and some sub goals that those will cover. And once you have chosen the right goals, The AI will help the campaign understand what exactly you're looking for, and accordingly, it will start targeting your users. For example, say you don't want to increase offline sales, rather, you want people to give your business a call or maybe visit your stores offline. So you can use this as a conversion goal when you're setting up the campaign, and accordingly, system will start showing your ads maybe more on Google Maps whenever your users are searching for a nearby location. So your ads might start popping up there, so that will help users to get to your store, and this is how the overall campaign would be optimized. Now, whenever you're creating a PMax, you must have seen an option customer only. So there are two modes available in a PMax setup, which are customer value mode and customer only new customer only mode. So what is a customer value mode? For example, if you want your campaign to optimize, like have some great bidding for new customers, however, you still want your ads to be available to previous visitors or previous consumers who have made a purchase on your website, then you can go by the uh, value customer mode. However, if you want to target only new customers for your business, like you, if you don't want to show your ads to the consumers who have already made a purchase on your website, you just want them to land to your website again through organic channel or a different channel. However, you want to target your new customers only with your paid ads, then you can use that mode as well. And businesses who have started using new customer only mode, they have seen a certain business spike, like 13% improvement in new customers with a reduced acquisition cost by almost 19%. Means, say if initially these businesses were paying $40 per as a cost for customer acquisition, now they're just landing somewhere around 17 or $18 with new customer only mode. So this is how this campaign impacts your overall results, like choosing the right setup, understanding what exactly you're looking for, choosing the right setup, making that setup works, and this is how you can get good customer acquisition at a reduced cost. Now we'll talk about how this campaign helps you get more conversions. So firstly, this campaign type doesn't bid on just one channel, it bids on different channels. And honestly, you might not be sure from which channel your right consumer might come. For example, if you're using, say, Google search campaign, then again, you're targeting just Google search. However, there could be n number of users who are looking for your product, but are not in market. Like they have searched for the product in the past, they might be interested in the product, but they're not exactly searching for your product at that moment. So this campaign can still help you target those customers whenever they are serving on different channels. For example, Google Display Network, Google Maps, or maybe YouTube. And that's how, because see, in the start we just talked about impulse shopping. So that's how impulse shopping comes into play, and these consumers who are not exactly looking for your product but might be interested ends up purchasing your product. So end of the day, from where the purchase is coming, that shouldn't really matter, but improving the overall purchase value is something that businesses are really after these days. So that's how this campaign type can help you optimize your overall campaign setup and get good business value over time. Now we'll talk about different pillars in a PMax campaign setup, which can help you like steer your overall business performance by improving the number of conversions that you're landing on, or by improving the overall conversion value. So the first thing that you need to understand here is bidding and the right campaign goal selection. So again, if say it's an e-commerce industry, you're looking for more conversion value, you're wanting to increase overall return on ad spend. So you should be using the right bidding strategy. If you already have some data in your campaigns, in your account, if you have been running campaigns for a while, then you can use the right target bid amount. So that is something really important, because it helps the backend algorithms like try to use that data to optimize your overall campaign performance. For example, say I start using target ROAS in one of my campaign PMax campaign setups, and initially I was achieving, say, $20 as a customer acquisition cost. So I give my system a target of $20. So it will help my backend algorithms to understand that I want more and more conversions, but not more than a cost of $20. So it doesn't mean that it will not exceed $20. However, it will try to optimize your overall campaign performance to make sure that on an average you're paying $20 to get more and more customers. So that's how the bidding works. Now talking about the budget. So understanding your product and then putting in the right budget is also very important, because let's say again, if you have an e-commerce business, you're trying to launch some new product in the market, there are a lot of searches coming up for the product, and you have a limited budget set up there. The budget might exhaust real quick, and this will bring the overall campaign's performance to halt. So based on what product you're launching, how many consumers you have in the market, like active consumers searching for the product, you can make use of tools like Performance Planner to understand that and accordingly set the right budget for your campaign so that your campaign can keep running ads throughout the day. So whenever there's a right user searching for your product, you're not missing out on those right users. Third important pillar for the campaign setup is uh, understanding the measurement, the performance that your campaign is achieving, like the number of qualified leads, or the overall conversion value that you're achieving, cost per acquisition. So understanding these metrics and accordingly starting to optimize your campaign setup. For example, when you start a campaign, say your customer acquisition cost is $20, then after some time you can start optimizing your setup, seeing like which audience is working for you, which audience is not working for you, what could be better search terms that you can feed to the system algorithm to help understand better the product and the right users. So you can start making these kind of changes based on the measurement data that you have secured so that your campaign, your algorithms can learn better, they can target better in the long run. The next thing is creative and feeds. So based on your business goals, say if that's an e-commerce industry business, you can again link a feed with your PMax campaign structure that'll increase the number of products the same campaign type is serving. Say you have 200 plus products in your merchant center account, it's really difficult to start creating one ad setup for each product. So you can simply link the feed with your campaign, and this will help system to start showing ads for all the products whichever are available in your feed. And based on your campaign goal, the search terms that you have added to your campaign structure, the audiences that you have added, plus the feed description, the feed title, it will start optimizing the end ad copy and start showing it to the end users. So this is how you can use this one campaign type to show your ads for multiple products. And uh, the setup is again doesn't need much time, and it will help you start serving effective ads and making some good conversions over time. The next is insights. So once you start running your campaign and say it has crossed a duration of 4 to 6 weeks, you have gained some good insights, like what creatives are working for you, what creatives are not working, what images are not working, what audiences are not working. So you can again start using these insights to optimize your overall campaign to make sure that the campaign uh, structured in the right format, it's targeting the right audiences, it has the right search themes added to it, it has the right creatives which are appealing to the end users so that they might end up clicking on it. And this is how your overall performance gets optimized, your performance get improvised over time. So these are some of the important pillars that we just talked about that you need to take care of whenever you're in the doing the performance campaign structure setup within your account. Now, the next thing that we would be talking about is the power pairing of Google Search and Performance Max. So again, say if you have Google Search campaign within an account, you're using some broad match keywords to help the system understand what could be the right users for your campaign structure and start targeting them whenever they are on Google search. However, to complement your Google search results, you can start using a combination of Google search plus Performance Max campaign type. So in Performance Max, you can use the audience list. If you want to keep it broad, you can use affinity or in market audiences. If you want to narrow it down, you can use website visit audiences. And then you can add certain search themes to your campaign structure. So the AI here will try to understand what exactly you're looking for, and it will start targeting those users on different channels. So this way, it will start complementing your Google search results. So having Google search set up for for a certain product category, in addition to a Performance Max campaign setup, will complement your overall campaign results. So this will firstly maximize your overall campaign coverage. It will start targeting users on different channels, and this will start helping the business gain more and more conversions over time. So now we'll talk about the step-by-step way of setting up a PMax campaign in your account. So whenever we talk about setting up a PMax, the very first thing is selecting the right goal. Now, goal could be anything. For example, if you're looking for more and more leads, you can choose the leads option. If you're looking for phone calls, you can choose the phone call option. So you need to understand your business, what kind of business it is, what kind of industry that is, and pick up goal based on the business industry. If it's again, say, if you're launching something new, you can go for awareness. If you're already launched a product in the market and you're looking for conversions, you can choose the goal accordingly. So any goal which complements your business structure should be the right goal for your campaign structure. Now, once you have done that, you need to choose performance max in the next step. And after that, the very important part comes up wherein you have to choose the right bid and the right budget. So again, you can use performance planner to identify what could be the right budget amount for your campaign if you're launching a certain product, or if you're saying a lead specific business. So you can just add certain inputs there and understand what would be the right budget and the right bid, and accordingly you can set up that budget and bid on in your campaign. And in the next step, you can start making certain optimization changes. For example, adding different search themes. It's very ideal to add minimum 25 search themes based on what product you're launching. Then you can use certain additional inputs, as in the audience list, then market, the affinity audiences, or the website visitors, to help the AI understand what kind of users you want to target. And next step is again a very important step wherein you are defining the ad creatives, like what headlines should be there, what images you should be using, what videos you're adding to your ad copies, because system will start using these images and start creating different ad copy variants to show to your end users, and whichever will start serving the best in the long run, that creative would be pushed forward more often as compared to the other creatives. So again, you can start experimenting on which videos would be ideal, use them, see which is what is working, what is not working, and change it accordingly. The next step involves adding certain extensions to your campaign structure. So extensions are also very important. For example, say your PMax triggers an ad on Google search, and on Google search, the headlines are limited, the description is limited. But if you have extensions added to your campaign structure, you can always supply additional piece of information. For example, additional links to your website, which could be something your users are looking for, or some other information with the help of callouts, like whatever you're not able to cover in those 15 headlines or 4 description lines. You can always supply that information with the help of callouts. So having extensions is very important because it helps you supply more and more information about your business to your end users. And this ultimately complements the CDR that you're achieving on your ad copies. So, having said that, now we'll talk about the different things involved in a good campaign setup. So again, we have just discussed the choosing the right goal and the bidding strategy. Bidding strategy should again be objective focused. The next is creating different asset groups. So in PMax, like in search, you have ad groups. In PMax, you have asset groups, and asset groups should always be focused on a separate product type or a category. For example, say if it's an e-commerce business, you can again go for creating asset groups based on different products that you're selling online, like one asset group for one product category. If say it's a lead specific business, so you can have different asset groups for different services that you're offering online. You should not couple multiple services within the same asset group, because in that scenario it could very well happen that the system is showing image and videos of a certain product, but the headlines and description lines are talking about an entirely different product. So that doesn't go in sync, and that's where you'll start losing clicks on your ad copies, like because the end user trust would not be generated. So defining the right asset group for the right product categories, very essential part of the campaign structure. Next is having the right videos. For example, whenever you're uploading video, you have an option to have vertical, horizontal, and square. So you should always keep using like having these three video categories in your ad copy setup because there are different placement available on display and YouTube. For example, YouTube Shorts. So in Shorts, square serves more often. Square video type serves more often. So it's very essential to have all the three essential video sizes in your ad copy. Next is talking about GMC feed. So if you're again having an e-commerce business with a line of product categories, it's very important that you link it with your merchant center. That way you will not have to create separate asset group for each product. You can simply connect it with your merchant center and it will start showing ads accordingly. And also you can start improving your results by URL expansion and asset automation. So URL expansion is a very important feature of a PMax campaign wherein it helps user land on the product page that they are looking for. For example, if you have say if you have a very specific homepage URL added to to your asset group, however, users are searching for a very specific product on your available on your website, and you have URL expansion option enabled, so it will help the users reach the right page of the website, and this way it will help you get more conversions over time. Next is asset automation. So as automation is again a very important feature of PMax wherein you can generate multiple assets. For example, you can give some suggestions of headlines and generate different AI based headlines which would be relevant to your business. And this way you can start experimenting more and more headlines or more and more description lines over time to see which works, which doesn't work, and keep the asset structure accordingly. Now this slide talks about different having different ad creative setups in your campaigns. For example, if we talk about having the best practices of headlines and descriptions. So you should have minimum 15 headlines with each headline less than 30 characters. Then you should have minimum 5 description lines less than 90 characters, 5 description lines with less than 60 characters. Business name should be available in your ad copy. All relevant extensions should be added. Then images that you're using, there should be 5 images in landscape, 5 in square, 5 in portrait, 1 square for store visit goals. And if you're talking about videos, so you should have minimum 3 videos, one for each size, that is landscape, square, and portrait. So you should have one video in all these three sizes. And then talking about logos, you can have 2 logos at least in the dimension of 1:1 and 4:1. So these are some pro tips that you should include, like try to fill in all the spots whenever you are you're setting up an ad copy within your campaign to make sure that it performs the best. Because if say you have 15 headlines, 5 description lines with 5 long headlines, it will provide system enough opportunity to experiment different final ad copy setups to see which one works, which one doesn't work. Now, further optimizing your Max is something that we can talk about. For example, using URL expansion, which will land your users to the right product pages, asset automation, creating different headlines. So you don't have to really write all the headlines yourself. You can just give system some inputs that what exactly you're looking for, and accordingly, system can start generating headlines. You can also use system generated assets if you feel that they are rightly complementing your business. You can also deliver great ad performance with web to app connect, and then you can leverage tools for your clients brand suitability goals. So these are some of the points that help you create a strong campaign structure from roots. Now, talking about search themes and audience signals. So this is something that I haven't been talking about already in the past few slides. Search theme is very similar to keywords, but it is not exactly keywords. It helps system understand what your end users might be searching for on different channels. And accordingly, the AI can learn and start targeting those users. Audience signal also helps the system understand and wrap up the performance by understanding what was the right product category and who would be the right users searching for it. So if you have these things in place, your campaign will learn a little quickly and start performing soon. Now from here, I'll transfer this to my co-facilitator for us to cover for rest of the slides. Over to you,
Thank you,
Faraz.
Shashank. Thanks a lot, Shashank, for the great overview about Performance Max and what can be done and what can't be done, and how we can leverage the various channels and take advantage of the Google ad inventory. But doing all of that, what is the biggest question that every advertiser has today? And the question that we have is, how do we generate more leads? And when it comes to leads, there are 2 points that come to our mind. One is, I want more leads. The second thing, I want quality leads, and I want leads which are cheap. And the fourth element that comes into play is, how do I minimize invalid leads or invalid lead traffic? Okay, now these are important points which every advertiser wants to look into it. And the lead generation business faces unique challenges. Now, let me explain this to you with an example of Happy Feet Shoes. Now, Happy Feet Shoes is basically a shoe company that specializes in certain segments of shoes. Let's say if a person is suffering with plantar fasciitis, okay, that's a pain in their foot. They have that kind of shoe to cater to that segment. Now, think about this: that if Happy Feet Shoes wants, when you're looking at quality versus quantity, what do I mean over here is, if somebody, if Happy Feet Shoes raises a campaign, a PMax campaign, and somebody searches on, say the ad shows somebody searching on Google with a keyword like looking for shoes that can solve plantar fasciitis problem, and because these are customized shoes, and now they find the ad, they click on the ad, they lead to a particular web page which has got a lead capture form, and let's say the person fills up all of the information accurately. Now that's a good quality lead which the business would want. On the other hand, there could be a scenario where the quality of lead may not be good because somebody is just searching for the different types of shoes and they go and fill up the form. Now that's not something which you would want to consider as quality. Another thing that you would face is, this would come under the quantity bucket, where you got a lot of leads coming in but those leads are of not good quality leads. Another important feature what you see is a unique challenge that you face is the complex customer journey. Now suppose somebody is buying a shoe which is customized to this problem of plantar fasciitis. This shoe would be anyway costing about $200, $300. Now, what could be the exact complex customer journey? Awareness. The customer would want to know what are the different brands available in the market, would do its research to find out, are these features best suited for me? Is the price good? Then they would go into the consideration stage. Then they would go into information gathering stage. And finally, they would go where they would follow up and the lead would basically close. And we look at the third part of the puzzle, which is called optimization. And you're looking at optimization is, how would you know that where am I getting my traffic from, which particular channel is converting, which particular ad is working, which asset is working, which creative is working, what is not working. So these are some unique challenges that we are facing. And also, consumers expect business interactions to be seamless, fast, and convenient for them. When you say seamless, minimal work to reach out to the connect. Okay, fast. I mean, they do not want a website which takes its own lag for it to open. The website is not mobile responsive, and it should be convenient. Ease of navigation is one of the most important factors. Now, 88% of consumers favor brands that provide helpful information along every stage of their journey. Now, from research to purchase, but only 47% of the brands customize and serve information across the customer journey. What matters the most for lead generation for advertisers is 70% of lead gen marketers cite improving the quality of leads as their most important objective. Trust me, that's the most important objective because they want to improve the quality of their leads. Now, how do you improve the quality of the leads is the most important thing. And one suggestion that we can say over here is, use your OCI, offline conversion import, use your first party data, use your PI data that you have, or your first party data inside, or you use your remarketing list, or you use your sales conversion data. Now, when you feed the data, data is king. And what goes in, if good goes in, good comes out. And when you put in the good kind of data inside, you get a 20% incremental revenue and a 30% cost efficiency. So it's always good to integrating your custom data throughout the entire journey of your Performance Max campaign. Okay. Now let's look at what I would really suggest all the advertisers is, I'm sure all of you would be doing it, but in case if you're not doing it, uh, as Shashank spoke about URL expansion, which is really very important. If somebody comes to your website and they do not find the information that you want, what they're looking for, if you have URL expansion turned off, you've lost the lead. If you keep URL expansion on at that moment of time, what happens? Even if you do not have that particular URL in question, Another URL is automatically generated, the asset is created, the image is created, and all of them combined together, and it is given to their audience, and the lead gets converted. So that's the advantage of having URL expansion. Now, on the other hand, when you have enhanced conversions for leads, now what exactly is enhanced conversions for leads? It's a very interesting topic. Let's say my same favorite example, uh, the Happy Feet shoe shop that I have. Now, on the Happy Feet shoe, I run a Performance Max campaign, and I'm trying to send this specialty shoes, which is where a person is suffering with plantar fasciitis, and to cater to that segment of the market, because these shoes are priced around about $300, $400 a pair. Now, let's say this lady named Sarah. Sarah goes online and she searches where she can get a customized shoes, and eventually she sees the ad of a Happy Shoe store. She clicks on the ad, and she goes through the entire landing page, which is also a lead capture form, which has got certain elements which she needs to fill. Now, instead of filling up the lead capture form, what she does is she finds a phone number. So she picks up the phone. Happy Shoe Store, hello, good morning, how are you? I would like to come down to your store. Is it was a good time? And blah blah blah. That all happens. Let's say after a week she goes down to the store. She goes to the store a week from today. Okay, so from a week from today she goes down to the store. She meets the person in the store, and the store says, okay, you can come back after 2 weeks, and we will have your shoe designed as per the specification, because she gives the measurements and all of that. Now, after 2 weeks, so now it's 1 week has passed, 2 weeks have passed, 3 weeks in total. At the end of the third week, on the start of the fourth week, she actually goes to the store and she picks up her shoes. Now, that's a purchase. But would you be able to attribute it to the ad that she saw? Yes, maybe no. Maybe yes, maybe no, right? But when you use enhanced conversion for leads, now what happens is you take the offline data, okay, of the sales that has been happened. You upload it to Google, it gets hashed with an algorithm called SHA-256, which is a hashing algorithm because it wants to hide your PII data. PII is nothing but your personal identifiable information. Now that it is hashed, on the other hand, Google has got the entire exposure log of all the people who saw that particular ad. Sarah was one of that person who saw the ad. What is the unique identifier between both of them? Is the email ID, which is hashed again from Google side with a SHA-256. It matches both of this. This signals the AI that to consider this particular lead as the most beneficial lead for your business. So now you have upgraded machine learning, and you have told it that look for more customers like Sarah. So you need to input your data. Now, what it exactly also means is that uh, enhanced conversion for leads can also measure offline conversion events even after 90 days, up to 90 days after the click that has happened. Now, what you need to do is import all of these events directly into your Google Ads, gain a deeper and more granular understanding of how each one click derives offline actions through better reporting, and distinguish between clicks and queries that lead to high versus low quality leads, and leverage this intelligence to unlock better bid optimization. Because remember, Performance Max works with a smart bidding mechanism. Now, your advertising strategy begins with what are you trying to measure? If you're trying to measure online conversion tracking, then you would be looking at something like engaged visitors, or you're going to be looking at leads. When you're looking at engaged visitors, you're going to look at pages visited, newsletter signers, brochure downloads, phone calls. When you're looking at leads, you're looking at form submissions. Now, when you're looking at offline conversion tracking, okay, now this is something which is not happening online. It's basically in the store. So you're going to look at qualified leads, you're going to look at buyers. When you're looking at qualified leads, you're looking at marketing, or you're looking at sales qualified leads, you're looking at closed deal. Now, pro tip over here is to prioritize the import of conversion actions happening within a relatively short time from click to final upload. Long story short, as I said in the previous slide, like finance conversion police, keep on uploading that data, keep uploading that data into the system so that the system goes on learning and upgrades itself. Now, you can also drive higher quality leads using conversion value rules. Now, what exactly is a conversion value rule? Let's go back to our same example of our Happy Feet shoes. Now, in this particular case, what happens over here is Sarah basically clicks, searches on Google. The ad basically shows. Now, the ad is come up, clicks on the ad, fills up the lead capture form, and clicks on the submit button. Now the lead has come onto Happy Shoes side. Now Happy Shoes, what they can do when you're assigning conversion value rules, you're assigning a particular value. So for the lead just coming into the system, you might assign it a $1. Okay. Now the second level where you would want to do is Let's say if all the information is appropriate in it, you would want to give it $2. Go to the third level where there's somebody actually picking up the phone, making a call to verify whether the lead is genuine or not. You would want to give it $3. You would give it the highest dollar value, let's say $4 in this case, where you would find the lead has converted into a sale, because that is the data which we want. We want the AI, we want the machine learning to go and chase those kind of customers only, where we are getting a good return on investment, where we are getting $4 on a sale. We do not want the AI to start running after customers or audiences who are basically giving us $1, because those were all the leads that we came in. So we got 1,000 leads that came in, but eventually that converted into sale is 20 leads. We are telling the AI that let the AI go after those 20 leads. Now another thing that you can also have in your kitty to control is geolocation. Now what do I mean by geolocation is, if you want your ads to be shown in a particular location, let's say I'm in Washington and I want my ads to be showing only in Washington, in the District of Columbia. I could focus my ads only in the District of Columbia, and I would say I don't want my ads to show in Virginia. Okay. Devices, I can also have a choice of the devices that I would want to use. Let's say if I know that my audiences are going to be more on the mobile, I would choose mobile as a device preference over a desktop, laptop, or it could be any OTT device or a tablet. So please keep these points in mind. These are going to be really important. Now, performance max campaigns will perform best when you share where you expect strong performance. And the first place where you can get strong performance is basically your audience signals. And when I say audience signals, is basically your first party data, your signups, the leads that you get from your newsletters, the information that you get from your OCI, you get your remarketing list, you got your PI data. All of this become audience signals. And if you give this data in, you're basically setting up the machine learning to a faster amount of success. Now, you can also ask me this question that, Faraz, that what happens if I do not have any audience signals for my PMax? Will it not work? No, it will work. It will not, it will work. And that's the answer in your second question. Second point over here, where it says audience-based conversion value rules. Okay, so you can use another kind of an automated thing, which is audience-based conversion rules, value rules, which we have spoken in our previous slide, where you can use that. It's also a bidding where it also uses your first party data, and it also picks up more information from the conversions which have already happened. And then you go the next option, which says new customer acquisition goal. Now if you have unique insights that new customers provide more or less value, when more value than returning customers, you can set a new customer acquisition goal to value and bid towards new returning customers differently. Now, principles for increasing lead quality. Now, you know that, okay, we understood something about leads. Now the most important point that we need to look at is lead quality. Consider this, that Performance Max is a beautiful garden. Okay. And in this garden, I basically want to grow flowers, beautiful flowers. So what's the first thing that I need to do? The first thing I need to know is what kind of flowers do I want to grow. Okay. That's all. You need to know what is your kind of your goal. You need to express your goal over there. Now that you've identified that this is based on your marketing objective, this is the goal, and my goal is basically to grow this beautiful kind of flowers. The next ingredient that I need is this wonderful soil, because a plant only grows in the soil, right? And what is going to be the soil for the Performance Max campaign is going to be your first party data. It is going to be your OCI. It's going to be your remarketing list. It is going to be all that data, all the signals that you have of your existing customers that you can feed into the system, so that the machine learning time can reduce and it can go towards success. Now that you know what kind of flower you want, you've identified the soil, and your plant is growing and blooming out into flowers, it is the right time to cut out the weeds, because with the beautiful plant growing, there would be weeds coming out. And that's what we call as campaign optimization. Campaign optimization is nothing but looking at your campaign, looking at your assets, for example. Okay, looking at what assets are performing well. When I look at assets, it could be your headlines, it could be your description, it could be your images, it could be your videos, it could be anything that has been uploaded into the system, would be where you could optimize it. I could be optimizing on my target ROAS. I could be optimizing on my bidding strategy. I can use maximize conversion value. I can use maximize conversion as another bidding strategy. Okay, I can use target cost per acquisition. So now that's campaign optimization. Okay, so now that we know that we have tweaked our lovely plant, we come to the next step, which is when a beautiful flower grows. What normally happens? We see all the bees coming towards the flower, right? Basically the flower attracts all the bees or the birds, all the pests. and you want to protect your flower which you've grown with such great difficulty, and that's where it comes to enhance your lead form. And how do you enhance your lead form? You enhance it by using a double opt-in. You use an OTP, one time password. You use a recaptcha mechanism. Now these basically prevent spammy leads from coming into the system. So as we said earlier, you need to identify what kind of flower that you want. So express your lead conversion goals, and you can choose as many goals that you want into the system. It is good because it gives the AI a better understanding what it should go behind. Now, one point to note is changing conversion goals may have a material impact on your bidding performance for any campaign that are currently targeting those conversion goals. If you basically have a lead gen conversion kind of a goal, you can choose multiple options like submit a lead form, book an appointment, sign up, request a quote, whatever works. You can choose as much as you can inside. Okay. Now, the second thing is increasing of the quality of leads, which we discussed, is we can protect the invalid leads coming in by using submission requests like reCAPTCHA, double opt-in, or one-time password, reduces spam. You can also use input validation when you're looking at server-side validation or you're looking at client-side validation, because validate the inputs provided by the user are correct and not basically spam. Now, fuel Google's AI with your first party data. Nothing can take your Performance Max campaign to the next level until you don't fuel it with your first party data. Okay. That's the most important thing. Now, online conversion goals. So, what are the two ingredients over here? You need to set up your online conversion goals as we discussed. You need to know exactly what kind of goal do you want. If you choose the wrong goal, the system will be running in the wrong direction. And you want Google's AI. You want the brain in the Performance Max, that is Google, to run in the right direction. So hence you need to choose the right kind of conversion goals. Now with the right kind of conversion goals that you're using, you need to use the right kind of bidding strategy, that is maximize conversions or maximize conversion value. Now, what do you mean by maximize conversion? Now, I mean, in the sense, when I use maximize conversion, I'm only getting more quantity of leads coming in. When I use maximize conversion value with a target ROAS, I'm getting more valuable leads inside. Okay. Now, something I would like to touch upon this little briefly about ROAS, return on ad spend. Now, what exactly would you want to play with this ROAS number when you're using maximize conversion value? Now, let's say that I have a I have a product which is pretty new in the market, and I want to increase its sales, and I want to build out awareness. In that case, I would set a target ROAS of less than 100% or 100%. A second scenario would be where I want to increase my sales, my gross profit margin is high on this particular product or these particular lines of products, then I would choose a target ROAS ranging between 300 to 400% or between 3 to 4. And let's say that I have a certain set of inventory or products where I feel that, nothing much can happen over there. It's okay, fine. It's good that I have it. If sales happens, otherwise fine, because my gross profit margin is low. In that case, I would want to set a higher target ROAS, that is about 800 or 900%. So if you're not sure which conversion goal to use, consider the volume conversion delay for your goals. Select the goal with sufficient volume and manageable delay to your business to reduce performance volatility. Now, I think Shashank did speak about this a little briefly about additional optimizations to improve your quality. But what are the levers that you can play with? One is reach. So first thing is, if you want to reach, is basically the number of people that you can see your ad, or the people that you would want to target. Use your audience signals. Okay, your first party data, your OCR, your remarketing list. Use all of that as your audience signals into the system. Your customer match list can be also added inside. Use location targeting. Exclude certain locations, express more interest in a particular location, put a particular more location more up, do radius targeting. You have another option. Creative optimization is where you're looking at the various creative assets which you have. Now, what you would want to leverage over there is to ensure that your ad strength is not an average, is not a good, but is an excellent. An excellent ad strength is the best. Okay. Does Google pay importance in the PMax campaign to the ad strength? Yes, it does. Okay. Next is placements. Where do you want to place your ads? I'm getting a lot of invalid traffic coming inside. Farazdak, what can I do? IP exclusions. Use IP exclusions. Use brand exclusions. Use brand suitability. Okay, these are certain things which can control the invalid leads coming into the system. Use bid optimization, new customer acquisition, conversion value rules you can set up. So these are certain levers that you have within your Performance Max campaign which you can take advantage of to steer it in the right particular direction. Now, Performance Max for store goals. What exactly is a performance max for store? A store is basically a physical store. A brick and a mortar kind of a store is a store. And when you're looking at store goals, the most important point is choosing the right kind of conversion goal. Now the thing is a store goal, but I have chosen the conversion goal as website traffic. Wrong goal chosen. Remember that example of my beautiful garden with a lovely flower, the plant. You need to know what is your marketing objective and you need to choose the right kind of the goal. Now, over here comes the point is in a store thing, you need to choose store visits as your conversion goal. So that's the first thing. Now let's get back to our little example of a happy feet shoe. Now, happy feet shoe basically wants to use a performance max campaign because it wants to get uh, increase a lot of store visits. So what basically can do is on Google Maps, it can basically show the nearest when anybody searches with a shoe store near me, its ad can basically show up. It can use location and target radius. Now, what does it mean by location? That it wants to target people in a particular geographic location with a radius targeting of about 5 miles. Now, and it can also use a call to action. Okay, and the call to action can be get directions. So what you're seeing on the ad on the right side of your screen right now is a beautiful mobile which talks about coffee, whereas I was using about shoes. But if you're looking for store goals, sorry, as your store goal objectives, it's all about having optimized to reach the right consumer who are most likely to visit your business. That's the right person, triggered by the right user intent, distance to your business, local search queries, and device. That's the right time. Lightweighted implementation using standard assets that Google optimizes for store goals only, right messaging. Performance Max for store goals runs on Google's platform that provides incremental reach to existing campaigns, the right platform. So, store business, do not forget to optimize your Google My Business listing. Very important. Okay. Now, three key strategies, store goals, objectives in Performance Max. Maximize traffic for all locations. So I have got, let's say, a Happy Shoe store has basically got two locations. One is in the District of Columbia, Washington. Other one is in Maryland. Now I want to drive traffic to both those locations. I can do that with this campaign. Support specific locations. I want to drive traffic to only the Happy Shoe store, which is located in District of Columbia. I can do that as well. Or I can choose a center point between Maryland and District of Columbia, and I can choose that as well. I want to drive store visits through product showcasing because you can connect your Google Merchant Center feed to begin with. You can put in a lot of inventory pictures of your shoes that you're basically running over here. So people can look at those shoes, click on that thing, and you can increase your store visits. Okay. Now maximize traffic across all locations. Now this is a kind of an objective. Now I need to drive store visits because offline customers are more valuable to me. Oh my God. Now I want to create a store, a store visit as my goal, but I'm saying that I don't want people to come online, and I'm going to use this campaign online, but I want people coming in offline. Now, why is offline customer more valuable to me? Because as per me, my business says that I get to meet the customer, I get to understand the customer, I get to look at the customer, I get to understand the customer's needs, I get to understand the customer's persona, I get to understand what is the customer's requirement. I build that relationship with that particular customer. So that is why a store visit is more valuable to me, and that is why I would want more customers. I would want Performance Max to generate leads or generate traffic so that people come into my store. I have an annual sale coming up. Happy Shoe Store is coming up with a sale of 30 to 40%. What do I do, Farazdak? Simple. Don't make the change on the last moment of your Performance Max campaign. Make the change 3 to 4 weeks in advance so that the system can start learning it, getting adapted to it, and machine learning does its work. What can I do to drive offline visits and sales? Now, it's to bridge the gap between online interest and offline action. Okay, over here, and you can do this by using again your Performance Max because it helps you. It has got an access to a huge inventory across all channels. You got 7 channels which you can take advantage of, and you can take advantage of the Google's inventory. So it maximizes your reach, and that's what you basically want. Just imagine, as what Shashank mentioned earlier, you've got a search campaign and you've got a PMax campaign. What's the use of running both? Is it going to cannibalize it? No, it won't. If somebody is searching with the exact word in the Google search, which one is going to show? Search or PMax? Search will show. Somebody is using a phrase match. Which one is going to show? The one with the better ad rank will show. Not a PMax or not a search. The one with the better ad rank will show. Okay, if someone is using a broad match, which one is show? The one with the better ad rank is going to show. Suppose, let's say it's an exact match. And we all know for a fact that the search campaign will show. But what happens if the search campaign is limited by budget and you had a PMax campaign running? Immediately the PMax campaign will come in. So your PMax campaign acts as a buffer. Okay, it acts as a buffer for a search campaign. It also helps you in targeting and finding your customer across the entire Google inventory, which you can really take advantage of. So Performance Max for online sales. What you see in this lovely, beautiful picture over here is what you see on the top is the features which are available for from smart shopping. Okay, but what you see down are the additional features which have been added to PMax. And what are the additional features? As I told you about the inventory, you get dynamic search ads, discovery ads, YouTube in-stream ads, maps. Formats, it basically takes up text ads, YouTube in-stream ads, map pins. Now map pins is really important when you're looking at store visits, especially, and you're using Google My Business. You're looking at bidding. You have maximize conversions, and you've got maximize conversion value, and you've got controls and transparency in the terms of audience signals that you're putting inside, because you can put in your audience signals also. Now let's say, uh, how many uh, how many campaigns should I create for my PMax, or should I create multiple asset groups? Or I've got this huge inventory, and it all depends on the kind of the number of products you basically have. Let's say you've got uh, limited number of products, then you can create one PMax campaign and create different asset groups. Let's say you've got a huge product list, then in that case you can create different PMax campaigns. Okay, now what we have over here is some of the best practices that is there. Now, when you're looking at the sales based best practices, is promotional timing, which we spoke, that if you have Happy Shoes is having a sale of 30 to 40% 2 3 weeks down the line, then create the campaign much well in advance. Don't do it in the last moment. Prioritize visual assets as much as possible. Consumers look to visual sources online for inspiration about what to buy. Okay, so use as much as visual inventory, use native as much as possible. Anyways, there's an additional feature which also Shashank spoke about, is in your assets, you can create images, you can create videos with the help of Gen AI within the system now. Run Performance Max in parallel with search keyword campaigns. As I told you, it's a power pairing mechanism. Okay, it will supplement it. It's not going to cannibalize it. Okay, and if you want to drive online sales by engaging all users, you have two options over. I mean, you have an option over here: bid higher for new customers than for existing customers, and bid only for new customers. Now, once you select the bid higher for new customers than for existing customers, if you need to adjust the value assigned to the acquisition, you can do so by clicking the edit icon over here. I'll touch base about this a little more detail in the next slide. Okay. So this is what I was trying to do. There are three ways to leverage new customer acquisition. Now, the first one is the new customer value mode. The second one is the new customer with high value optimization mode, and the new customer mode only. You might say, Farazak, all of them look pretty similar to me. It's only a different of English language. Yes, you might be right. But the difference is that the first one is basically only going to go after, is going to focus extremely more on new customers, and it will not ignore your existing customers, but it will give a little less weightage to existing customers. If you look at the extreme last one, which is new customer only mode, it's only going to focus on acquiring new customers. It will not look into your existing customers. Whereas the middle one is, which is currently in the beta phase, which will look at a combination both of the left and the right. It look at the new customer value mode and also the new customer only mode, which means to say it will look for the most highly valued customer one. It will look at your new customer also, and it will also look at your existing customers. Okay, so these are another thing which you can also play around with your bidding to get it more effective. Now, Google identifies new customers using your data plus our signals, your customer list. If you don't have your customer list, like you don't have your first party data, which I think I mentioned a few slides back, nothing to worry. There's something called an auto detection mode over here, where Google's algorithm will automatically start determining the users who have interacted with your ads up to a period of 540 days in the look back window. And another thing that you have is a global site tag. That's for much more advanced users. Okay. Now, Performance Max reporting and insights. Now, always remember, good in, good out. Good data in, good conversions out. Good data in, good sales out, good ROI out, okay, good return on ad spend. So Performance Max uses automation and Google's deep understanding of customer behavior across channels to spot conversion opportunities for your business. And how does it do? It learns from your data. Once you give that data to it, it learns it, the machine learning incorporates it, the AI starts working on it and starts delivering the results. Now, Performance Max insights bring advertisers new data and insights optimizing legacy work. What does it basically mean? So we had the legacy actions and we got the Performance Max insights now. And how it has been evolved is, earlier in the legacy method, you would have looked at understanding the fluctuation performance, like running daily auctions, inside reports to identify performance shifts, and manually reviewing change history report. Whereas now in the Performance Max, you got Performance Max, uh, the performance shift change history insights, which gives you a clear, detailed understanding about troubleshooting performance issues, manually reviewing your campaign settings or reaching out to Google Ad support. This is not working. I have a policy violation. Can you please help me? You've got the diagnostic insights over here. See what may driving your ads and not serving and receiving the right conversions it desires. Creative's performance, manually pairing audiences and creative reports to improving messaging. You got asset audience insights over here which you can leverage. Understanding competitive landscape, combining through action insights, reporting, exporting to visualize data in line chat. You've got auction insights over here, which automatically shows whether shifts in visibility of advertisers, competitors above or below them in google.com may have impacted performance. Understanding your customers, you've got audience persona insights and search term insights, which you can leverage. You're looking at growing your business, Google Trends reporting. On the other side, with the Performance Max, you can take search trend demand forecast. You can look at the performance planner, which Shashank spoke about. Now, at times, you might also want to wonder that, oh, is it so much for me to remember and keep in mind? No, it's very simple. When you go into your Performance Max campaign and you look over here, let me move my mouse over here. Over here, when you see this, you see, I can't read it, but let's say I think it's 53.07%. Sorry. So it's 53.07% over there. And I see that there's a decline. Well, my advertiser or my customer might want to ask me that what is the reason in decline. I really don't know. Performance Max has got you covered. It gives you a detailed explanation. If you just hover your mouse over it, it will tell you what is the reason for it. You click on the view explanation, it will give you a detailed explanation over here that telling you that what particular product has gone down or has increased or what has caused the change, which particular store has decreased in sale. You can get all of the information into the system. Okay. Now, next thing is brand safety and suitability controls. Now, in a PMax, it's basically what you have over here is at the account level, you've got inventory modes, you've got content exclusions, you've got digital content labels, you've got content themes, you've got these are basically unique to this. Now, whereas which are there at the account level. Now, when you're looking at the campaign level, you've got keyword exclusions, you've got topic exclusions, you've got placement exclusion. Sorry, you don't have placement exclusions. These are there at the campaign level levers which you can also play with. Okay, now we come to the next interesting topic, which is called feed optimization. Now, when you're looking at Google Merchant Center, it's very important to ensure your feed is up to date. And what do I mean by feed? Now, a question that normally comes up over here is, Farazdak, I have a particular product in my inventory, but I don't have any more stock of it. My question goes back to the advertiser: is that are you going to see that this particular product is going to get replenished? If the answer is no, a permanent no, that means that product is not never going to come back. I will then take it out from my Google Merchant Center feed. But on the other hand, let's say it's a short time period. It's like in the next 10 days, I'm going to get a supply of my goods back. I wouldn't want to take that out from my Google Merchant Center feed. And the only reason why would be is if I take it out, all that machine learning that has happened over a period of time on that particular SKU will be lost. And I don't want that to happen. So if I don't want that to happen, I need to keep this intact. I need to ensure that my merchant center feed is updated, my titles are updated, my products are in stock, there's no diagnostic issues, everything is up to date. That will ensure your shopping to become seamless and your performance max funnel can take full leverage of this. Now, the diagnostic report can exactly tell you over here what is basically working, what are the diagnostic issues that you would want to take care of. So this is a good thing, which a good kind of a control that you have when you're using your shopping feed into a performance max campaign. you can look at this to see what's happening over here. I mean, you can take all the necessary corrections in your account. Now, an example of a high quality shopping ad, okay, is something where you've got a high quality resolution image. You've got different variations of the image, the front of the t-shirt, the back of the t-shirt, the side of the t-shirt, because you want to give the same look and feel of a person when they go into a physical store, that how they pick up a t-shirt, they look at it. You want to give the same feel when the person is sitting online. So high quality images, perfect title, which includes the brand name, the gender, the product, the size, the material, the color, the weaving, all of that. Then you would want to also look at the price mentioned correctly. You would want to give a detailed description. You want to give seller reviews. You want to give add much as relevant information you can, which you as a buyer would be looking for. Okay, so always change, wear the shoes of somebody else and put yourself in somebody else's shoes to understand what they would look for, and you will get your answer over here how you need to optimize your Google Merchant Center feed to the best. Well, that's all I had for today. Thank you so much. I know I've extended this by another 5 minutes and 39 seconds, but truly appreciate your time and wishing you all that a quick takeaway from here would be is to ensure that you keep your URL expansion on. You would want to keep it off at times when you want people to come to a particular URL only. That's the time when you would keep it off. Use enhanced conversions for leads. Use your smart bidding. Use your assets. Use the Gen AI over there, which can create various kinds of assets for you. It can also create a beautiful video for you with the kind of images that you have uploaded, and ensure that your Google Merchant Center feed is all up to date. That's all I had for you for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a wonderful day ahead.